When I look at Jared, I think of him like as this ultimate high-end like leader kind of guy. If you want to know something, you go to Jared. I think for the first time in a long time, Jared rarely asks me questions because he usually knows everything.
Does Johnny Moe know about the lore of Mount Healthy Fighting Owls quarterback David Montgomery?
I ask myself this sometimes. I don't think he does because I know I can throw it farther.
My next guest, a superstar running back for the 3-1 Detroit Lions and Eagle Scout, David Montgomery. Notice I did not say power back.
I love that. I appreciate you respecting me in that manner.
I mean, and here's why. Power running backs don't rip off 72-yard runs.
Fair enough. You're not lying.
Longest run of the year, by the way.
Yeah, for now until it gets beat again, either by me or Amir.
I think something about that and this streak that you're on, and you're having career highs. We'll get into it. Congratulations on everything, the success of the team, more than anything else. You walked into the game this past week with your sash. It is your merit badge sash. I loved seeing that you are an ambassador of Scouting America. Why is that thing so important and special to you?
Yeah, that's great. I think for me, you look at athletes and you kind of ask like, what made them, what created them, what was like the foundation of who they are and why they were able to become who they have became. I think for me, kind of like pointed in the direction of scouting for me. I had a foundation of my mom was always there and present for me, but my mom was always big on me doing extracurricular activities, and I got into scouts. And when I learned more about it, it happened to become a love of mine. And it's benefited me for my entire life. And I would like to say it groomed me into becoming the man I am today.
Which badge on there is most rewarding to you?
Uh, Most rewarding,
Yeah.
um, in a sense of my everyday life, I would have to say personal finance. Just my finance badge is ensuring myself that I can keep up with my finances. But like the most important that I use daily is probably cooking very bad.
I think when I say rewarding them, I would think like the one that was hardest to earn. Which one was like the one that you're like that took everything I have to earn that, or like
Oh, personal fitness
really? You're
for sure.
not, what are you talking about? That's like the easiest one for you.
No, it was not at all. I had to log how much, and I had to like. My mom was a big stickler on being like honest with all of the stuff that I logged and reported. So like there was times you had to like start at a start point as far as like, okay, I would run a mile every day for a certain amount of time,
Uh-huh.
and then you had to put the time logged, how long you ran, how far you ran, which was a mile, and then each week you would have to go up a mile or run faster, do more push-ups and more. I'm like, bro,
You're
it's
hilarious. What age was this?
I think I was like around 12, 13.
But you're saying you for the physical fitness
Yeah.
being an Eagle Scout was tough. I love that.
Yeah, as ironic as it may sound, it was not easy.
I love that. That's great. Do you know that I thought that you might I don't know if you've seen this, but you're not only inspiring to young men around America who should get into Scouting America, but this doctor in Detroit, did you see this?
I did see it, but he looks better than I do.
I think this is very cool. But that he decided because of you.
I love it. I just love seeing like the amount of people who actually was in scouting, who participated, those who were able to grasp Eagle Scout. And I think for me, I think it's super cool to see. And it's also like an enlightenment to everybody around the world. Like
Mhm.
there's thousands of people who walk around you who earned that Eagle Scout and who was in scouting, who love it and appreciate it. So I think it's also a reminder that people should go out and try it also.
It's a time commitment, right? There's so many different things to do. What would you say to kids who think they don't have the time to be part of Scouting America?
The first thing I would tell them is one thing my mom used to always tell me when I was younger, you would always make time for the things that deserve your time. And I feel like scouting for me was a staple for my life. So um, I did a lot of things to like ensure that I was balancing both of them evenly on both hands. And sometimes scouting would be more important than ball and sometimes reverse too. But I think that's where they work good hand in hand with one another, just being able to ensure that I'm prioritizing my time. And also ensuring that I'm giving enough time to scouting because there was times where scouting was helping me on the field and field on the field was helping me with scouting. So I think it was very beneficial for me. And if I could tell a kid anything, I think you should make time for scouting because scouting is important and it helps carve who you want to be.
I want to ask you, of course, about some of the things going on with your team.
Mhm.
These Lions, number one scoring offense.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, number one scoring offense.
Sweet.
You are averaging how many yards per carry?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. I don't look at that stuff.
Scout's honor? You don't know
Scout's
what?
honor. Scout's honor. I don't know.
5 points. Well, you're lucky I look at that. I'm obsessive over that stuff. 7 yards per carry, David. That is a career high. And we're going to put the little asterisk there. That is also within that in the short season, going up against the top two rush defenses in the league through the first 4 weeks. Break this down for me. New offensive coordinator, offensive line changes. Like, why are you running the ball better this year?
I'm a very high-end spiritual guy, so I like to say like God just being who God is, kind of just allowing me to be who He believes I'm capable to be.
Mm.
But I also just like to there's new coaches and new schemes. We got a great old line, so you know everybody's just doing their part and everything's working out. So I'm blessed and I can't complain about it by any means.
Yeah, but then do you go up to Dan and say like, or coach, or whatever you call him, and say, you're saying what we're doing is not good enough? I'm good. 5.7 yards per carry. I did my job. How come y'all had like a 24 point something lead or whatever the win? And he's saying it's not good enough. What is that?
Yeah, just because we have a like standard for ourselves, you know. It's we never try to live by the standards created by others. We always try to live by the standard that we create for ourselves. So
Mm.
I feel like we be doing
What
ourselves.
standard? Winning by 40? If we said 40, would he celebrate? Like, when's he handing out lollipops and like, what's,
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever live to see that day. I think that's what makes it so unique, though. You know, you have someone who's always raising the bar, and you also like see what you actually are capable of when the standard is be up above anybody else's understanding but your own.
Yeah. What does Coach Morton have to do with you having the best year start to a year ever?
I think Coach Johnny, like we call him Johnny Mo, but Johnny Mo, he does a good job scheming up and calling plays. So,
Mhm.
um, yeah, I think everything is just falling in place again. It's just like God ultimately being who he is. But I think Johnny Mo's a great offensive coordinator, and we're all kind of seeing it now. We can just be so much better. So we're just working towards that.
David, I saw the double pass.
Oh yeah,
You know where I'm going with this.
I
I
know
saw
exactly
it
where you're
was
going.
beautiful to Goff, a nice lateral against the Ravens. Does Coach Morton, does Johnny Mo know about the lore of Mount Healthy Fighting Owls quarterback David Montgomery?
I ask myself this sometimes. I don't think he does, just because I know I could throw it farther. But I don't think he really knows much about it. But if you think about it, it's a lot of guys on our team who play quarterback who can throw the ball. You like where I'm from, like the best player usually plays quarterback, and that's typically where it is in a lot of places. So it's a lot of guys on our team who can throw it. I could throw it a little bit. I'm not gonna toot my own horn.
No, we need to like let you rip it. Are you kidding? You threw for 700. So here, Johnny Mo, this one's for you. This man threw for 726 yards while rushing for over 2,700 for the Mount Healthy Fighting Owls. By the way, who were in Cincinnati. What is that going to be like? You've never played in Cincinnati. You're from there. What's it going to feel like this week?
Yeah, I think it's just going to be a rush of emotions. I have never played in Cincinnati since leaving Cincinnati,
Yeah.
which would be cool. Playing against the team that when I grew up, that was the team that was like my team. Like I was a hometown kid, and a bunch of my family members are coming. I think it's special for me that I get to play home, but I think it's really special for me because my sister gets to come to the game.
Why is
And
that so special?
so like almost a year and a couple of maybe a year and a half year on Valentine's Day, my sister got in a really bad car accident. Now she gets paralyzed from the neck down, and she obviously can't move. And but this would be the first game that my sister can actually see me play with her own eyes. So I'm super, super excited about that. And I'm just happy that she's able to be there.
I knew it would be special. You only took pace the Bengals once in your career, and it was in Chicago.
Hmm.
figured I was just talking to my producer. I'm like, I bet he was a huge Bengals fan. I bet you, when you grew up, who were you loving? Like, who did you think who were you emulating on the Bengals?
You knew the Chad Johnsons, the TJ Husmazadas, the Rudy Johnsons, the
Mhm.
Carson Palmers. Those are the guys that were like staples of the team. And, I kind of love those guys. I seen Chad Johnson once. I think it's for me, it's always a surreal moment when I see Chad Johnson and pass him. He shakes my hand and he knows who I am. Because when I was a kid, I grew up watching him on TV, this showboat celebrity guy who kind of like always grasped the attention of the fans, always had everybody involved. And for me to kind of like see him in person and he know me and talk highly of me, I think it's super cool. It's like a full 360.
I love that. I want to get to some of your teammates here, because and we'll end this on this. And by the way, you can visit www.bascout.org, Scouting America, of course, helping people. The tagline, the whole thing is just prepared for life, which we love. Last one for you. Jared Goff. Do not tell me he's not different. How has fatherhood affected Jared Goff? What have you seen?
Uh,
Little Romy.
I think when I look at Jared, I think of him like as this ultimate high end like leader kind of guy, and if you want to know something you go to Jared. I think for the first time in a long time, Jared rarely asks me questions because he usually knows everything. I have a son, he's almost 3 years old, he's turning 3 in January. And Jared, he asked me the other week, he's like, Demo, how old was Juju when you took him on a plane? I think for me, like I was more surprised that like Jared was asking that question, and I'm like, like I was telling him how old he was. He was like, "Yeah, I'm probably just gonna wait a little longer." Thanks, bro. Like, thank you for telling me. I'm like, "Yeah, no problem, Jared." So for
But I
me,
feel like that adds to like the relationship, right? It's like
yeah,
different
for sure.
different stuff. I love that. I love that so much. Thank you for inspiring and enjoy what is to come. And by the way, I'm just going to end it with this. Johnny Moe, you just heard the man. He's playing in front of his home crowd. His family's in the crowd. Might be the day to let it rip as the quarterback. Jared, step aside. Go learn how to change diapers. Let the man do his work.